I'm sure you all saw the title of the episode today. Ride and Fly was set up by me talking about Riders Republic because I just recently got to play it again and it was on my brain. But what does the buy mean? Some of you probably already know. I'm sitting at work. I'm sitting. Do you know what it's about, Jay?
I do not.
Okay. So I'm sitting there at work the other day. I'm just scrolling through some things, and I come across this article. And I know it's probably an interesting article for some. It's probably a little taboo for some. But the fact of the matter is, it's a reality, right? Let's show this here.
This is NoYesMen, people. Cherry Man Gaming.
Boom. There it is. So in the latest installment of the Superman comic.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Sorry, I was playing Rocket League.
Superman's son is a bisexual character. And there are a lot of people that are outraged by this. A lot of people that are outraged by this. And in the world...
Do they all look like me?
They probably all look like me. But in the world that we live in today, there's a lot of things that are going on that people don't like, and apparently this is one of them.
See, I heard it was Superman, but then you have this that said it was Superman's son.
Yep. So
I heard about it. I didn't see much, and then the Daily Show, Trevor said it was Superman.
Yep. So this is in November, Superman, son of Kal-El #5, Jonathan Kent, son of Clark, will get a boyfriend. As you read through this here. It talks, it does a little pun in the beginning here, talk about Superman. Yes, that guy, 83 years old, no less. But it says, we're not talking about the classic original recipe Clark Kent from the 1938 issue of Action Comics #1. No, talking about his son, Jonathan Kent, whose precise backstory in the comics has been so ruthlessly pummeled by a series of reboots, retcons, space missions, time travel, and rapid aging as to render it so incomprehensible that it sends even diehards like me scurrying to the nearest wiki. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm not a big comic book guy, so none of this really changes my mood. But I find it interesting in that, we are starting to see things pop up around us that are really touching on the nerves of some folks, and a comic book of all things is actually doing that. And a comic book that has been out for a long time, and I think that that's a lot of the reason for it, because people get so locked in, with a certain mentality and a certain viewpoint on things that, oh my God, you took my beloved Superman and you made his son bisexual. Oh man. So guys, I wanted to go around to you real quick, and you may not have an opinion of it, you may not really care, but I just kind of want to see what your thoughts were about this, and if you had any opinions on it.
So they have the new Spider-Man. They have the new Superman, Lois and Clark. What's the new one that just finished? It was on, I don't know, the CW down there or something. They just had it, whatever the new one. Where the kids,
it was like Clark and Lois or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I wonder if they're going to integrate that into the storyline in season 2, because the kids are more prominent in that one, right? Right. They gave up their jobs. They moved back to Smallville with the kids. Right. The kids are going to school. Spoiler alert, not Jonathan, but the other kid whose name I forget has superpowers, but Jonathan doesn't. Yada, yada, yada.
Damn, bro.
Spoiler alert. Jeez.
I said spoiler alert. I just wondered if they're going to incorporate that into that storyline at all. Because he had a girlfriend in the first season, but maybe... And they, she dumped them, and because when they moved back to Smallville, and so maybe pick him up a little small town farm boy.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't care.
You don't care? Okay.
You want me to go, Jay? You want to jump on this before me?
I mean, sure. Like, I don't really care the fact that he's bi. I just think it's bullshit because it seems like they're more panhandling than anything. Is my, like, if that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't seem like for any good reason other than trying to appeal to a specific audience. And that's probably why people are pissed off about it. It doesn't help that people only read the headlines anyway, so they didn't read that it's Clark's son and not Superman. But my point still stands: is it's panhandling, and they're just trying to take advantage of a specific crowd, not the fact that they're trying to make a point or trying to come up with a new idea or anything like that. In my opinion.
I didn't read anything of it. I just said to the boys, can we talk about Superman? Because I saw some tweets. I didn't read them. And then, like I said, on the Daily Show, Trevor Noah said Superman. So that's where I got it from. And then Ryzak said, no, it's his son. I'm like, all right, cool. Again, well, Jordan Kent. He's named after what's his face's father. Right.
Here on the screen, you can see. I mean, it says, not the original Robin or the Robin that's currently Batman's sidekick, but the Tim Drake Robin, the third character to assume the title, is also, and I think Mr. Urban World said it in the chat as well. So I don't think this is the first time. Someone also had mentioned in the comments, let me see here. His name is Mr. Urban World again. His name is Icon, and that's why there's feathers ruffled about it. You have a lot of probably middle-aged to past middle-aged people that grew up with these DC Marvel superheroes, listening to stories on the radio and stuff like that, playing it out as kids or whatever, and have this mindset about who that person is. And then all of a sudden to see this, it's probably shocking. Cowboy, what do you think?
So if you look up when Miles Morales first came out, which is the new black Spider-Man, actually his dad is black, his mom is Spanish. He was gay in the comic books, and that was, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. But this is what I'll say. So a really, 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 really close friend of mine's, Ray, the Game of Cyborg, is also gay. And Chariot Man Game is in the building, and the Bishop of Gaming is in the building. Shout out to them. But other than Ray being gay, a really, really good friend of mine's name was Bob, and he was gay. And so regardless of Bob and how close I was with him, I look at it at this standpoint. Okay, we live in the United States, and I don't know how many years it's been now, but it's been legal in every state to have same-sex marriage. Now, I'm going to just be my regular cowboy self and say whoever got a problem with that should just move out of the country or shut the hell up. Because I don't like to break laws, right? So I've always been the straight and narrow guy, right? It might sound crazy, whatever, but I've been straight edge my whole life, never drank before, never smoked before. Women was my issue, but I follow the law. Now, you could be mad and have your own judgment, and that's fine. It's America, right? We're not talking about Canada, but it's America. But if same-sex marriage is legal, so that just tells you that your gripe, you could stand on it because it's your preference. However, the legality of it is you have no legs to stand on. Now, with that being said, I do see that Superman is probably the most iconic superhero, period, right? Period, right? I know Spider-Man is popular. I know Wolverine is popular. I know the Hulk is popular, and Batman. Those five, you tell any kid, they know who they are. But I think Superman is probably the top one, depending, right? So I think it probably hurts some people because they probably feel like you shouldn't touch that with Superman. But I think the writers are allowed to be creative. If they get the green light to try something new, they should be able to, right? Superman was bad in the Injustice, spoiler alert, in the Injustice video game, he's a bad guy, right? So they tried something new. So I personally, and I'm not that into comics anymore like it used to be, I personally don't care because I feel like, to be 100% honest, it's legal to have same-sex marriage, so it's legal to be gay, it's legal to be tranny or whatever. And at some point, like if I'm black, so again, I'll go back to Black Panther. Every black person I know, Black Panther is the greatest movie in the world. No, it wasn't. It was trash. But you love it because you're black and you connect with it. The people who did, right? So why come gay people or bi people or tranny people can't have a superhero to look up to or have prominent characters in movies, right? To be fair, because they're human beings. And again, in the country they live in, it's legal to have their sexual preference. Now, I say this: if you live in another country and that's not cool and it's not legal, you need to shut the hell up, because that's not the way the majority, right? We go to that old thing called majority rules. The majority doesn't accept that, and it just is what it is. You better move to the United States. I don't know what to tell you. But so that's my feelings on it. I don't have a problem with it at all, because mainly that a same-sex marriage is legal in every single state in the United States. So at that point,
I'll follow you up with
Canada.
In Canada as well. I'll follow you up with this. The one thing that I've always found interesting about people that are labeled as homosexuals is that people will always follow that up with the word confused, right? Oh, you're confused. You don't know what you want, right? I find this to be a little confusing because, you know, please correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not perfect and I don't know everything. And I want to know what's right if one of you know what that is. But bisexual, in my mind, says that you like both sexes, right? So why the need to say bisexual but show the boyfriend, right? Because it's a little confusing, right? To somebody
honestly,
that might,
I thought it was. I couldn't tell if it was a girl or boy. I thought it was.
Well, it says
girl
boyfriend.
Pink here.
Yeah,
but
it says boyfriend. Let me go back to it. So,
okay.
you know,
And we know he's got 2 sons.
Yep, it says we'll get a boyfriend right here, Anthony. So
okay, yeah, I couldn't see that small letter.
So I mean, you know, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? It doesn't matter. It is what it is. But for those that are maybe young, or those that are impressionable, or those that don't understand, or maybe have never heard these terms before, this is a comic book at the end of the day, right? It's a cartoon, and young eyes are going to gravitate to stuff like this. And I feel like it's a little confusing. That's all. Go ahead.
I'll say this. So here's my trump card to that, right?
You have a trump card?
I don't like when the world blames the world. You got parents for a reason. You ain't fall off the bus. That's what your parents is for. So when you watching little Jimmy sitting behind you with Superman's son kissing the boy, you're like, yo, what the hell is that? That's what you got parents for. So at the end of the day, we can't police everybody's household. We can't, you know, you go to school and your friends. Yeah, I mean, it's fair, to be honest. That's what we got parents for. Now, if you live in the woods with wolves and the wolves can't communicate that, hey, you know, it's just real that we can't take away the creativity of individuals because we want to police somebody's household.
Well, and that's an important part, because that's what's going to get missed out of this whole thing, right? This is a new author. This is a new, you know, writer for this comic series. And this is his vision of what he wanted to show. And obviously somebody signed off on it, right? It's not like he just decided, oh, I'm taking Superman's name and I'm going to make his son, you know, bisexual. Like somebody signed off on that in some office somewhere, Jeff. You know that. You know how that goes. So, I mean, it is what it is. You're spot on with that statement.
Now, I'll say this, though.
Like it's that big of a deal.
I'll say this, though. The way I am with my kids, listen, first of all, my 15-year-old daughter, you ain't dating nobody but that damn school book. I don't care if it's man or female. Number 2, do it on your own time. So when you turn 18, then you could date all you. I don't care if you come in here with a drag queen or whatever, but you're 18 years old. Because what I don't like is when the kids are under 18. Now, when you brought up the confusing part, so here's what I'll say. Especially now, even more, sexuality is more of a fad a lot of times. Kids just do stuff because it's the thing to do. Now, I know parents, and I won't, you know, I know parents who are, I know a friend of mine who's allowing her daughter to want to be a boy, and she's like 13. And for me, I'm like, see, she's kind of young because she could be, oh, no, this is what I want. This is what I want. But that's because everybody at your school is doing it. Now, 2 years from now, after you don't have hormone replacement or whatever you want to do, and you're like, damn, I don't like it. Now, guess who you could get mad at? Your mom. Why'd you let me do that? So me, you ain't doing nothing until you're 18. Do it on your own time when the government say you're an adult. So that's how I feel. I'm cool with it when you're 18. Because you get confused, then it's on me because I allowed it.
And the other thing that's lost in this too is that you do have a whole community of people that probably are going to see this as part of their movement, right? And will they take that as a symbol of what they believe in? And that's a really great thing for them. That's powerful.
Right.
So, hey, to each their own, right? You guys
Now,
do what you do.
Now, I'll say this. Foremost, if you're listening, you think MM2K gonna be talking about this stuff? No, yes, man. You see the name? That's what we do, baby. We ain't no yes men.
He had that food, and now he's got some rock.
Yeah, Jeff's like, Jeff said no yes, man.
I'm not even playing. I'm looking at games to buy.
I bet you are.
I'm
looking at all the
listening.
Stadia deals.
I'm listening, but like
you go listen. You go tell MM2K that the Cowboy said his show ain't like no yes man. You go run tell that to your master.
Why are you trying to start a war?
Because this is what he does.
This is what I do.
So
I haven't had a war with anybody in a long time. Come on, man. I'm just playing around. Listen,
you're starting a war. You're not going to win.
No, I win every war. First of all, I'm still here.
I content for the next show, so he wants to start a war.
The next two shows. Yes, show's next.
Next go, he goes. Yeah, did you hear what MM2K was saying about me? Let me get a clip. Did you hear what they were saying about me?
Just yesterday, just yesterday,
because I'm a noob, but they said stuff. I was at work. I wasn't watching. I was listening because I'm always working and listening because that's what I do.